Hello everyone, in this video I will show you some best split-screen PC games in 2020, but before we start this video make sure you subscribe to your channel Games Down and hit the bell icon for more gaming videos. So without any further ado, let's start this video. The first game of this video is Rocket League. Rocket League takes the traditional framework of soccer or football, based on where you live, and flips it on its head by replacing human players with vehicles, incorporating vehicular acrobatics and low gravity in an enclosed stadium, making for very fast, over-the-top gameplay. You'd be hard-pressed to find someone who does and enjoy Rocket League, and what better way is there to weather the ups and downs of a fiercely competitive match than alongside your best buddies in the comfort of your own home. Next up we have Portal 2. How we miss the good old days when Valve focused more on making games than making money. In addition to classics such as Half-Life and Counter-Strike, one of Valve's most popular IPs is their puzzle game Portal and its sequel, Portal 2. Portal 2 was a bit different from its predecessor, but without delving too deep into it, we should point out that one of the most noteworthy additions was a new two-player mode that came with a separate campaign designed specifically with two players in mind. Next up we have Resident Evil 6. Though it far from being the best Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 6 is a compelling third-person shooter that can be played in split-screen. It contains 4 different campaigns, with some focusing more on the traditional survival horror elements that the Resident Evil series is known for, while others focus on fast-paced action. 3 of the 4 campaigns are played in co-op, and they all make for a good couch split-screen gaming experience. If Resident Evil 6 suits your taste, then you might also want to check out its predecessor, Resident Evil 5, as it plays in a very similar fashion. Next up we have A Way Out. Joseph Fares' much-publicized jailbreak co-op game, A Way Out bases its central premise on cooperative split-screen gameplay. It was designed specifically with split-screen in mind, so you can rest assured that you'll be in for a highly engaging two-player experience. A Way Out is an action-adventure game that will require the players to cooperate to get through a variety of situations and solve puzzles to beat the game. Ultimately, the game is much more flexible than you might think, and there are different ways to get through different scenarios, so there's a fair amount of replay value, too. Next up we have Gears of War 4. Fast-paced shooters can be tricky to play in split-screen, so many FPS and TPS games forego this mode entirely. Gears of War 4, however, doesn't. Overall, the game is based around mechanics introduced in the very first Gears of War title, that is, cover-based shooting and melee combat that come together with a very distinct and gory visual style to make for enjoyable, gritty gameplay experience. Next up we have Team Sonic Racing. What is there to say about a racing game that features everyone's favorite blue hedgehog? Team Sonic Racing is a kart racing game that will appeal to gamers of all ages, and it's similar to Mario Kart in many ways. The game features 15 characters from the Sonic series, and there are 3 classes of racing cars that provide some flexibility when it comes to each racer playstyle. Moreover, Team Sonic Racing also focuses on cooperative gameplay, and the players can get more points if they work together and share power-ups. Next up we have Horizon Chase Turbo. Another racing game, Horizon Chase Turbo is inspired by the good old arcade-style racing titles from the 90s, and it shows in both the gameplay mechanics and the graphics style. It boasts simple but effective visuals, and the same can be said for the gameplay. The game is easy to get into and features up to 4-way split screen, not to mention that it is quite cheap at the moment, so considering the hours of entertainment that the game can offer, we say it a pretty good deal even at full price. Next up we have Screencheat. Is a beautiful gaming oddity that, on the surface, is a run-of-the-mill FPS, but it quickly descends into uncharted territory by making every player invisible. Yes, you read correctly, invisible. The central premise of the game, as the title implies, is to peek at the other player's portion of the screen in order to figure out where they are. As you can imagine, Screencheat is a very unique split-screen experience that you definitely shouldn't miss out on. Next up we have the LEGO Movie video game. The LEGO Movie video game is just what the title implies. And if you ever played any of the LEGO games, you all know exactly what to expect. This is a simple, light-hearted action-adventure game fit for gamers of all ages. It is full of colorful, creatively designed levels with plenty of action and platforming segments. Next up we all wish Mario Kart were available on PC. The reality is bleak, with Nintendo eager to keep its flagship series confined to their consoles. On the bright side, for nearly every console exclusive out there, they're a viable substitute. In this case, it's Super Indie Karts, a kart racing game that captures the aesthetic, the gameplay, and overall feel of Mario Kart. The game features pixelated retro graphics and plenty of game modes, and it's a great split-screen game for PC. Next up we have Distance. Another racing game, albeit a much newer release, is Distance. It is a futuristic game with a somewhat Tron-like vaporwave aesthetic that features all sorts of vehicular acrobatics across a variety of tracks, with some pretty unforgettable track design. The last game of this video is Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition. RPGs are usually single-player experiences, but Divinity Original Sin goes off the beaten path, and instead of having you create a single-player character, it has you create two. It is an isometric turn-based RPG that can be played either in single-player or in multiplayer, and it is a proper role-playing experience through and through. The campaign can take about 100 hours to complete, so you can rest assured that you'll be in for quite a journey. The game has also received a sequel titled Divinity Original Sin 2, and it does precisely what a proper sequel should do. It improves upon the base set by the original in almost every possible way, so definitely check it if you like the original. So that's it guys, thanks for watching this video. Subscribe to your channel Games Down and press the bell icon for more gaming videos.